Who's doing it? Okay, Pete did it.
Well, Pete's done it.
I'm not doing it. Defeats the purpose. I'm the one that's been editing, man. Do one clap.
Okay, so
Hi everyone. Welcome to Setting the World to Rights. This is the show where we discuss all the goings-on in the weird, wacky, and ultimately wonderful world that we live in, and we attempt to set it to rights. I am Pia Varma, and this is Pete Ray.
Yes, I am.
And this is Christopher Rayner, and
Hi.
this is our theme tune.
it's one of the best theme tunes.
Probably the best I've ever
What of
heard.
any show?
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of shows, so I think it's definitely
So
up
no
there.
one told you life was gonna be this way.
Please edit that out.
Just in case we needed more claps.
Also, if
So-
you're new to the show, am I supposed to do that?
Yeah,
right now?
do that.
Also, if you're new to the show, you know the drill. Just make sure you subscribe to this channel because we need your love. Also,
And your
make
money.
if we
No,
get
we don't.
there, right? Yeah. Yeah. I've lost my train of
Sorry,
thought.
go
Okay,
on.
it was a whole spiel. Also, like the video once
Like
you watched
it.
it or before. And hit that notification button because we want to make sure that you are up to date always with this fantastic stuff that you're watching right now. Rock on.
Okay.
I got lost there for a second. We got it back.
That happened.
Why did we let Pete come on the show?
I don't know.
We met this guy on the street one day and we just said, you know what?
You gave me a shirt and I was yours.
So, crazy week on Setting the World to Rights. Sorry.
Pete keeps on hitting her
sorry.
mic stand. She loves it.
Well, we had some topics from last week that we wanted to bring over because we didn't talk about them, but now there's more stuff to talk about. So we're just going to roll with it and,
Go with the new
know,
stuff.
Yeah.
go with the new stuff. Yeah. If
Go
it's
with-
old news, it's old news. If it's
old
out of the
news.
cycle, we don't care about it.
I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, it's done.
Dead.
Out of my mind.
Dead news.
Done. Yeah.
But the Lions did win.
Just
Nice.
gonna try that one on. It's
Just-
a good look.
The
Just gonna
sun,
rock the sunglasses.
the
You should
sun
do, it's
never
bright in
stopped
here.
setting on Christopher Rayner.
It's true.
Yes. New topics.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But the Lions did win, so good job, Lions. That was amazing. Super
That's what it
exciting. Did you see it?
I
in
didn't watch
overtime?
it.
No?
I didn't watch it. I'm
Who-
hearing this for the first time.
Oh, right.
Is the Lions like the men's rugby team?
Oh, the Lionesses. Sorry.
Yeah, you were getting that
Lionesses.
wrong.
I am.
Right, wrong.
The Lionesses, yeah.
Bless
So,
them.
and I think Prince William gave a speech, so good on him. Way to never complain, never explain, go up in front of everyone and give a speech. I'm proud of him.
Wait a minute. So he addressed.
The pegging issue.
No, he didn't.
Did he?
He didn't say a word about it.
Ah.
I don't think that's the kind of thing you can do a press conference on.
No.
Listen. It wasn't me. All right. I can't tell you who it was. I just want to get myself out of the. you want to.
Yeah.
You want to, but I don't.
Even though he doesn't realize, actually, it would make people really respect him a lot more to know that
Really?
he has a dark side. Because,
Yeah.
he's a little bit like goody two
I don't
shoesy.
think that.
Oldest child, very.
You don't think so?
No, it's the royal family, man.
Oh, you're true. Yeah, true. Don't do
say
any of that.
Do you think there was a person who had to go up to Her Majesty and be like,
We've got a situation here. There's a lot of buzz on a particular show called Setting the World to Rights. They're outing us.
Yeah.
We need to nip this
Yeah.
in the butt.
She did. Oh, he's not around.
Shocking.
Anyway.
Right, okay, so moving swiftly onwards.
New topics.
Okay, so first topic. We're going to start with some lighthearted Hollywood stuff, and then we'll go into the more serious political topics.
Yeah.
Have you got pictures of Britney with her top off?
I don't.
Oh.
Do you
I
want
thought
me
we were
to-
going to talk about Britney.
Oh, maybe we should talk about
Should we start
Britney.
with her? This is Kevin Federline. This is Britney's ex-husband. They were married. They had 2 boys together, and he was sort of in the
I
picture.
remember Kevin Federline.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Kevin Federline?
Federline.
Wasn't
Federline.
he like one
The
of...
backing
Yeah, dancer.
dancers. Yeah. Because where else are you going to meet guys if
He's-
you're Britney Spears, right?
Because you're going to meet guys?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're working that hard all the time, you're going to end up marrying a backing dancer, right?
Yeah.
Or a producer.
Easy.
Or a producer, yeah.
Easy. Because they're there.
Yeah.
If you have, this is actually quite an interesting
Or the
subject.
owner of the record label. Anyway, go.
Well, I just want to say that this has got to be kind of an interesting subject because if you are in the limelight, if you are a celebrity, right? So you're constantly doing shows, you're constantly doing press, you're constantly doing interviews and yada, 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 right? And you're not necessarily at home for any length of time, ever.
Right.
You're going to meet more people out there, whoever's in your crew, your clique, or wherever you're going, your entourage. Those are people that are surrounding you, right? So if you have got a relationship at home, how on earth do you stay?
Faithful.
Yeah. Because you could be on the road forever.
Yeah, because it's called propinquity.
I was going to say propinquity.
Oh,
Propinquity,
yeah. I love
yeah.
that.
It's a great word, right?
Okay. Spell it.
P-R-O-P.
No, you said spell it. I-T.
Propinquity. P-R-O-P. I-N-Q-U-I-T-Y.
Oh, that's how I'm going to spell it from now on.
Propinquity.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. But no. The reason why I bring this topic up is purely because of the fact that does relationships like that work?
That's a good question. I mean, look at what happened when Brad Pitt and Angelina did that movie together.
Oh my gosh.
And then everyone had to watch that movie
So
thinking like, oh,
Mr. and
poor
Mrs. Smith.
Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, she
I remember it well.
dying.
Although she is so much. They're both great.
So
Whatever.
great.
Anyway.
So great.
So basically, I agree. Propinquity. You tend to like become attracted to people you're around a lot and all that
Should I
kind
press
of stuff.
play
But-
on this?
Sure.
The boys have decided that, you know, they're not seeing her right now. It's been a few months since they've actually even seen her. They made the decision not to go to her wedding. Jamie Spears came to me and it's like, pretty much, I don't know what to do. I want to help. You know, my daughter, I want to help. I mean, I saw a man that really cared and really cares about his family and wanting everything to be okay, you know.
So you feel Jamie might have saved his daughter?
100% I feel like he saved her back then.
We missed out the last like 10 seconds.
That's when she whips her top off, right?
Sorry.
Britney has described her father's relationship with her as abusive, and while she has said she has no plans to perform again, she continues to communicate with her legions of fans via her social media feed. And according to the father of her sons, they are posts which can cause problems for the boys.
Let's be
Pictures.
fair. That last thing there, she looked like a hot mess, didn't she? like.
Well,
I mean, more emphasis on the mess. Unfortunately, she looked borderline
tell it like
psychotic.
Tell it like it is. Well, that's the thing, right?
I'm into
like,
that though.
No, but that's the thing. Like obviously, like there's a huge movement that has been supporting Britney, Free Britney movement, and
For
it's
sure.
great. No one should be in a conservatorship, especially when they're making that much money for other people. The whole thing was really insane, and conservatorships in general need to be like looked at seriously. But so everyone is now pointing the finger at Kevin Federline, saying, "Oh, well, he's a lowlife. What's he saying?" But no one is really talking about the boys, and like I guess any kid, I guess, would be quite.
Those boys look quite old.
They're quite old. They're teenagers.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they're just uncomfortable that all their mates have seen their mum with her top off.
This is important because I mean, we were talking about this not so long ago about strippers and stuff like that, and how is
Well, that was what some of the comments were basically like, well, what about women who are in the business of stripping and this
Right,
and that?
do
But
they
it's
have-
different.
do
It's
they
a
have,
different
like,
thing.
100 million followers. Where like you can go to school the next day and your friends like look at your mom, like
Yeah.
it's like that's entirely embarrassing and degrading for her to a degree if she's finding that this is important to her in order to like carry on her celebrityism.
Yeah, so where do we find these videos?
I don't know.
Well, because that I don't think
See,
that
that's
is.
that's the thing, though, isn't it? You got to see them. I want to see
Because
what all the fuss is about.
Well, because what Britney is saying is basically, or what she said from the beginning, was that the reason she's doing this is because she never was sort of in charge of her own body and everything, and now this is like an example of like her being quite free and being able to like express herself freely. That
And
doesn't
everybody
take
else
away.
saying, that's why.
Right. And everyone's like, you go girl, that's amazing, free Britney, and that's awesome. And, you know, again, like I'm a big Britney Spears fan. I love her. I've seen her in concert many times. But at the end of the day, like, you know, that's not the issue. The issue is her boys and how they feel about it. And at the end of the day, like if you're a mom, like I feel like you should kind of put your kids' feelings first.
Yeah, you need to know. I think she definitely needs to have like a voice on high, letting her know that like, all right, okay, I get it. You wanna just be you a little bit right now,
Right.
Okay, but you can get like a TikTok account where it's just private, so you can just do
So
it
do it for yourself.
Yeah, no, but ultimately, yeah, sure enough, she has to understand about the fact that there's other people involved, you know,
Yeah.
and
There's family, her own family involved.
yeah, and if she wants to be able to like build that relationship back up, she's got to act that way. And
So-
it could just be like have some therapy sessions, talk to somebody, and just be like, listen, okay, I'm just gonna lay it out for you. I'm just gonna pave out the road, okay?
You should be that guy.
So you want to do it? I get it. Like this is what happens. You
Sounds
do
like
this.
a conservatorship.
You do one of those.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Sounds
I'm just
like a
saying. This is only
conservatorship.
friendly advice. That's all.
Right.
That's all. You take it, leave it, whatever. I'm just paving out the road,
Yeah.
so you can see exactly where it's gonna go, and then from there you make your own decisions. And
Yeah, but I'm just showing you all the outcomes.
yeah. Do that.
Painting
People
the-
sometimes need that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you throw back a few drinks and then you just get on and be like, I want to get my tits out.
Yeah.
I just want people to see that because I need some admiration here right now. I'm feeling a little low. I want people to say, hey, nice tits.
Yeah.
That's what I need right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then that's all that's where you're thinking. You're not thinking all the way here.
Yeah.
And how that's going to affect anybody else or whatever. So,
Although I was just thinking about it, it must be quite hard for women who are like in these kind of sexy roles, right? Like Pam Anderson or, I mean, even J-Lo to a certain extent. Like I just saw that movie recently where she played the stripper and like, so if you're a woman, you're an actress, you're playing these like sexy roles, but then you're also a mom. It must be quite challenging at that point.
Sounds like someone hasn't watched Magic Mike.
I haven't watched Magic Mike, but I imagine he's great.
Does he have kids? Do you think he had that same
Fact
issue?
check it.
I mean, it's the same with guys. Like, I mean, I'm sure some of the top male porn stars, like, who have children, that must be weird, right?
Well, yeah,
Like,
but
what do you tell your kids?
Porn isn't on like YouTube.
Yeah,
is
but
it?
eventually your kids are going to find out, right?
Yeah, when they're
What the
old
family
enough to-
business is. Like, who are those actors? Like, not Gemma Jameson, but the one and the guy. Anyway, whatever. They're married.
You probably know more than I do.
Manuel Ferrero, and there's another a woman.
She knows a lot more than I do.
No,
out
because
names
I was
right now.
I was fascinated by this subject, right? I was
You
like,
are.
what do porn stars do when they have kids? Like, how do they reveal it to like what happens, And anyway, there was a whole article about this particular power couple in the porn industry, and like, yeah, it didn't have any answers for me, but
Okay,
No.
so
Anyway.
what's the questions that we need to answer on this?
So I guess this is another issue of like where issues are getting blurred and people have chosen teams and no one wants any nuance or to separate the issues.
Blurred lines. That's a
Blurred
great
lines,
track.
yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't like that track at all. I feel that potentially is degrading
Uh-huh.
as far as the track is concerned, and also it hasn't aged well.
It hasn't?
It hasn't aged well.
I haven't watched it since
No,
it came
just
out.
the
Maybe I should get
the music.
some little
Music.
little
Hey.
Botox, little facelift, little.
You want it? What?
No, nothing.
Is that anything to do with
You said
that
it
song?
didn't age well.
Oh no, the song didn't age
Yeah,
well.
I know.
You're
So
fine.
I was just doing like a. All right, thanks.
You look beautiful, Pia.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got.
Anyway, so basically, it was interesting what he said about thinking that at the beginning it helped Britney, because I imagine at the very beginning there were some good intentions in the sense that like you're like, this girl has like a multi-million-dollar business. We want to preserve that business. We don't want her to lose it all, everything she's worked for. Let's put her in this conservatorship. And then, of course, that became toxic, and they had her working God knows how many hours in Las Vegas, and I mean, it became obviously very abusive and crazy. But at the beginning, I imagine it probably was
First paycheck.
sorry,
The first paycheck that landed in that account.
conservatorship
that,
account.
That
yeah.
guy was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of money. Do you know what?
Then you get your gym membership and your country club thing, and then you're like,
Cards start coming in the post, and you're just like, what? There's money on this?
Yeah.
A lot of money on that.
You're sick. You got a cold. Just go back out there.
What? You're gonna take the bus? Pfft.
Yeah.
Porsche says no. Porsche says have a
Anyway.
brand new car on us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, let's find the
Okay.
next.
topic. So what's
Next topic.
how did we do anything to set?
Well, we didn't set anything to write, but
Well,
I
we
think,
could do it. Let's summarize.
how
it.
would you set it to write?
Okay, I don't really remember any of the questions.
I know how to
wasn't
set
really
it to
any
the rights.
question.
I think Britney should just literally get back into the studio, write some like kick-ass songs, right? Like killer songs, right? But like kind of more like appropriate for like the Britney fans that are now a little bit older, like us, like me. Just about like
Yes.
being a mom,
You're
man,
so
and like
right.
go fuck yourself,
Absolutely.
society,
Some- a serious sort of like power ballad type.
for the moms of the world, right? Like,
Are we deciding
oops,
how?
I did it again. I forgot my kid's lunchbox.
No, that sounds terrible.
Got
No,
lost in
don't-
the game.
don't- Don't get peed. It's the end of your career. But you are absolutely right. I think
Right?
that's a great
You
idea.
drive me crazy.
But
I'm in too deep.
okay.
You drive me crazy. Go to sleep. Come on. That's gold. Whatever. Go on.
But, no, I think that what you're saying is absolutely. Could you imagine if she came out with an absolute banging album, 10 fucking songs
Yeah.
of just nothing but grade A hits?
Yeah.
That would be
s-
savage.
Yeah, just cool dancing.
Yeah.
She doesn't need the sexy outfits. Just wear like cool outfits,
Just-
like a pantsuit,
Yeah. Get some collaborators on that track as
Yeah.
well. I think that that's a great
me.
idea. And no, not you at all. And then just get somebody to just like be in control of it.
Yeah. Like her dad could do it because he's got
Maybe not
experience,
him.
right?
Maybe not him. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't care about money.
Right, let's move on
Okay.
to.
That's great. We've done it.
Yeah, I think so.
We've
for
done
once.
it.
For once.
Okay,
There you
so-
go. You've heard it here first. That's when you hit the notification button because you understand that we're doing it now.
Yes.
We're
We are doing it.
we're bringing we're bringing to attention.
We don't just talk the talk.
We skirt around the outside of it.
Okay, fine. Let's see.
What is this now? What are we about to watch? Is this a new topic?
Yeah, new topic.
Oh, okay.
I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. and say sorry to my kids and my family. The work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit.
Just quickly, like, because we kind of rolled into that, did you want to introduce what you were about to show us so that we moved into that topic?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yep. So basically, this is Will Smith's apology after the crazy slap heard around the world with Chris Rock. And so this has come after Jada's statement about it, which was, I guess, a month now ago. And
Did we cover that? The one where what she said about anything?
No, we didn't, but I've got it. Do you want
She
to see
didn't
that?
say much about anything.
She doesn't
this
say
is
much
her.
about- Well, no. I
Oh.
mean, like, we just do the Will Smith one,
Yeah.
really, because, like... Do you want to say anything about this?
I mean, I've got some real big opinions on it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Okay.
Should I go first with my
Yeah,
lucid
yeah.
sort of opinions about this? This, to me, seems just like just an apology.
Yeah.
This just seems like right now everybody has to go up there and apologize about stuff. And ultimately, this is massive. This is big news. And his career is very much at stake to make sure that he goes about things in the right way. He's pushed to make this apology. I guarantee he's probably talked to Chris, or he's done a lot of stuff like to try and sort of make that connection outside of having to do this, because you wouldn't leave it this far before you sort of bell up Chris and be like,
Yeah, about that.
I mean, I don't even really know, because they got a great relationship, or had a great relationship, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Because Jada was in Madagascar. They both did voices together, Chris and
Sure.
Jada. So they had a good friendship, I think.
So I possibly believe that there was probably, and this is completely my own opinion and absolutely not, you know, I haven't got any anything else that has actually kind of influenced this, apart from the fact that I'm just looking at this and thinking, like, based on how he's reacting right now, this is kind of like I got to get out there and I got to say something, you know. I got to try and put this to bed real quick. It's taken this long to kind of get out there and do this, but it's unscripted, or it's possibly loosely scripted, so it kind of comes across as if it's a bit more heartfelt. But is he? He's just addressing it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like there's anything really much to it.
Yeah.
But
Just doing it for everybody else more than anything else.
there's a couple of great things, and there's something which isn't so great. My favourite part of this apology is the lamp behind him blends into his hat. Makes him look like he's got a massive fucking head.
Oh yeah.
So I noticed that pretty quickly. Nice selection of plants, etc. But if
You do love a good plant.
I do. If we
Good
have to be
Monstera deliciosa.
like so okay, you shouldn't slap people in public when it's on camera, at least. Pretty okay if you do, if it's not on camera. But whether Chris Rock deserved that slap or not is probably a different conversation. However, what I would point out is he's doing his best to heal a situation here, and Chris Rock is taking every opportunity, it seems, to take the piss out of Will Smith in his comedy.
Is he?
Yeah, so there's loads of points where he references this slap.
Does he?
Yeah, and
You
it's
should be
like
bringing that up. I want to
I
see
know-
that. That
Do you
sounds
want
like
to see that?
fun.
Okay, you keep talking and I'll
You
try
keep
to-
talking, Chris.
so. I to be honest, I think from my perspective that Chris Rock maybe needs another one.
Oh, is it?
That's kind of what I'm pointing towards. Yeah, I think it seems to me like he's
Helped his career in some way?
well, he's sitting on his high horse about this, but it's really provided a lot of material for his comedy, certainly. So
Sure.
Should we see a video?
yeah. If you got one.
How was your weekend? I don't have like a bunch of shit about what happened. So if you came to hear that, I had like a whole show I wrote before this weekend. And I'm still kind of processing what happened. Like I
this clip isn't very good.
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
was going to say that's probably a bit of a weak clip, but
Well, anyway, we'll
I'll find you one which kind of explains that side of things. But anyway, so altogether, that thing happened. Will's done his apology so far. Jada Smith did a rubbish apology, not an apology, just she said, "Hey, let's see what happens."
Yeah.
she sort of pointed out a bunch of stuff, didn't she? Not really apologizing, but
Just about how they're both good guys, and we need them both right now. And I mean, that's the thing. It's all a bunch of good people. It's not like we're talking about bad people here. We're talking about good people, and good people act crazy especially if you're on a self-improvement path, right? I think a lot of people think that path is very smooth and zen and everything's relaxed, but it's not. You're dealing with so many crazy emotions and processing those emotions. You know what I mean? Trying to deal with the dark sides of you and everything.
That's exactly right. There's so much pressure, especially in their roles. Just even today, just normal people can have problems. For instance, you didn't bring Pia's laptop. She lost her fucking mind in the pub earlier.
No, I didn't.
And I'm feeling super awkward, kind of like Chris Rock, as if I got slapped in the face, as a byproduct of that whole situation.
It had all the clips of the show.
And we're not even celebrities. We don't have to apologize.
No, I was thinking about a conservatorship.
You should probably apologize.
Well, for me?
For you, yeah. Anyway.
But it just goes to prove that, the challenges are when you are in the limelight, you got to hold your shit together, don't you?
Well, that's what actually their daughter said. She's so cool. Willow. She basically said, that her family being in the spotlight is held to such high standards and expectations that you can't slip up at all and you can't make mistakes. And making mistakes is human. And
it's fun, too.
It's fun.
It's fun.
This kind of stuff also, it's I know, okay, I mean, maybe I'm not taking it very seriously, but it's these are two grown men, right? Kids around the world are getting beaten up by their parents on the regular.
Yeah.
This is just another case of how we as a society are we're just worried about things that we shouldn't be worried about and not worried about things we should be worried about.
I'm wondering also from that show, the first 5 seconds of him walking up on stage, whether his relationship is kind of like Chris and I, where he takes a bit of a jar at me and we're jarring at each other all the time, taking a piss and all this sort of stuff, right? And then Chris says something about me on stage, okay? And then I get up, all the eight, just a big smile on my face. I'm gonna go up there, and then I get up there, I realize I'm on stage in front of TV, the crowds and everything else like that, and then I'm just I don't know what to do right now.
Yeah.
So because I'm so strong in my relationship with Chris, I slap him clean in the face.
Yeah, because at the end of it, you'll be able to and you'll be able to talk it through afterwards.
And then I realize as I'm walking back how awkward this whole thing is, that I gotta back it up with everything else.
Yeah.
And then he's just geez. I'm yeah, Chris.
Yeah, and then you realize Chris is
Son of
not
a
happy
bitch.
about it,
Yeah.
and he's not gonna forgive you.
And then I'm just I'm gonna have to get on YouTube and I gotta make an apology.
I gotta do a whole thing.
Public apology.
Whilst he revels in the whole thing and starts making jokes about it, up in his career.
What about the whole Vivica Fox statement?
What?
Vivica Fox?
That is a beautiful name.
Yeah, so I just think that it's very much just society is needs stuff to talk about, right? As if we don't have enough stuff to talk about, to be honest.
Yeah, we could do with some more
less
stuff to talk about.
Less, we could. So do you think that we're actually doing the world some harm? I was just thinking today, because we are actually wanting stuff to happen for us to talk about it.
No. That I don't look at it like that at all.
Okay, good.
There's enough stuff happening in the news for us to be able to pull a couple of different things to talk about. Are we causing harm by putting our opinions out there?
Right.
I think as long as people sort of understand that we are just talking as regular people would do in the street. Yeah. And you can be this guy's got a fucking clue. Yeah. I don't know what they're talking about.
And we admit that we.
Yeah. And at that point, you can kind of just be all right, well, that's. I'll subscribe because it's funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Subscribe because it's funny.
Subscribe because it's funny.
Yeah, do that. Got another track to play.
Oh, yeah, we do.
There's a really important red table talk on alopecia. Considering what I've been through with my own health and what happened at the Oscars, thousands have reached out to me with their stories. I'm using this moment to give our alopecia family an opportunity to talk about what it's like to have this condition and to inform people about what alopecia actually is. Now, about Oscar night, my deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. The state of the world today, we need them both. And we all actually need one another more than ever. Until then, Will and I are continuing to do what we have done for the last 28 years. And that's keep figuring out this thing called life together.
This is going to be difficult for me. These are my peers. I've done a movie with both of them. Set It Off with Jada and Independence Day with Will Smith, which absolutely changed my life. When I saw this video last night, it made me cry. I'll be very honest with you guys. Come on, Viv. I really felt to be a partner to Will Smith, whose career basically took a crumble that night. We were all rooting for Will Smith that night, Oscar night. We wanted him to win. Will Smith that night, as far as I was concerned, was going to be crowned this generation's Sidney Poitier, which is a huge honor. I felt to be a good partner, there was no accountability. Will Smith was defending her honor. That was why the reason he walked on stage and slapped, because he felt like his wife had been offended. So for me to see no accountability as a partner, also let's not forget that Chris Rock was assaulted. We cannot forget that. For basically telling a joke that I really felt wasn't that bad. Let's not forget that this show was executive produced by Will Packer, an African-American man. This night was a night of African-American and diversity for brown and black people. That now will forever be scarred.
Right, didn't take any responsibility.
But what did she do? Did she need to take responsibility for anything?
I mean, it depends. From whatever we saw on the camera, we don't know whether she did anything at all.
Right.
So
I mean, are you not allowed to roll your eyes when someone makes fun of you?
Oh, I'd do it. If I'm in a comedy club and someone's taking the piss out of me, I'd be like, calm down.
You have no sense of humor, Pete.
Calm down. I do. No, I don't. I don't actually have any sense of humor.
Wait, can I just say one thing? I think this is something where, and I feel this way about the Will Smith situation. I feel this way sort of about the Russia situation and the recent thing with China and Pelosi and Taiwan. It's like, don't deliberately put men in situations where there's no win for them. Like, where they can't win if they just sit there and do nothing, but they also can't win if they do something. Where their pride as a man is on the line. Like, it's like where there's a no win. For example, like when, this, I know this is controversial, but say NATO keeps expanding, and Putin says, stop expanding. You're putting Putin in a situation where at some point he has to make a very tough decision, right? Or if you're going to make fun of somebody's wife, you're putting that man actually in a very difficult situation, right?
No.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
Can you take the piss out of P for a bit?
I think essentially it takes a smarter, stronger person to be able to sit his ass in the chair and think about the long play here.
The long play, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If she's going to be like, oh my God, you didn't step up for me right then? Be like, listen, okay, let me pave the road out for you and show you exactly
the different
how
options.
This how this
fine.
And the same with Putin.
Yeah.
Sure enough, there's going to be people sat there right now thinking, fucking do this. Do it. Why aren't you doing
There's
anything?
always a smarter way to go about things.
And he's going to be set.
No doubt.
Exactly. There's definitely better ways to do it.
But Osho, or no, was it Osho? No, sorry. Sadhguru, right, said something like, the right action at the right time with the right force can actually be a spiritual moment. I don't know if I agree with that, but he said something along those lines,
What are you
like.
talking about?
I don't know.
What?
I'm lost.
Like, for
We were
example,
talking
no.
about
Like, for example, I'll
Will
tell you.
Smith,
No,
then
no, I'll
we
tell
were
you this.
talking about Russia.
There was a guy I know who was in the 80s. He was a police officer, right? And there was a kid who was doing something, was a real punk, right? In that moment, that police officer actually, like, the kid did something and the police officer smacked him, right? And then 10
Police
years,
brutality.
15 years later, the kid sees the police officer and goes up to him and goes, you know what? That was the best thing that's ever happened to me. It changed my life, right? I'm not condoning violence or anything. I'm just saying, like, maybe in that moment, that was what that kid needed. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
You're not. No, because like Chris Rock probably didn't deserve a slap. Well, maybe he did. I mean, like you can't go slapping around comedians. They're just saying jokes, man.
Yeah.
No,
I
but if
agree with
somebody
that.
did something to my son, I would smack that
And
person.
not only that, it's just
That
like
kid, you were going to say that kid.
No, not that
You're gonna
kid.
beat
No,
up
I
some
would never.
kid.
Not a kid.
Some other kid.
But
is
if
gonna
some
trip over
parent
Blaze,
or
and
if
you're
some
gonna-
teacher says that my kid isn't smart, I'll smack that teacher. No, just kidding.
well, it's good to hear your opinion. It's probably shared by an awful lot of people. But in this instance, I just don't think that was the right way of doing it.
No, of course. I mean,
But
that's
at
the
the same-
obvious answer. What you're saying is obvious.
It's obvious. But at the same point, am I going to make a wrong decision? I'm going to make hundreds of thousands upon thousands of wrong decisions for the rest of my life. That's just the way it is. We're all going to do it.
I think we should be Christian about it. We should turn the other cheek so you can slap that one too.
Hey.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, fine.
Setting the world to rights. Did we set that one to rights?
Yeah.
What did we say?
Don't hit anyone. Don't hit.
Just think about it. Think about it.
Violence.
Talk to your therapist.
I don't have one.
Use your words, not your hands.
Well, it depends.
It's like the
You
first
could-
lesson you learn in life.
Yeah, I know, but even if you use
Otherwise-
your
no.
words, they could be hateful words. Don't use hateful words.
All right.
So we're going to talk about another subject, and this.
Oh no,
probably is-
let's do Alex Jones, shall we? So this is Alex Jones. The background is basically Alex Jones is like a really big conservative commentator. But I mean, he's sort of known as like a right-wing conservative commentator, but I don't see it that way. I see he's more of a conspiracy theorist and has a show, InfoWars, where he talks a lot about these things. Occasionally he says some truthful things, and a lot of times he says some crazy things. So one of the things he said was basically that Sandy Hook, which was a school shooting that happened in 2012, it killed 20 children between the age of 6 and 7 and 6 adults. He said it was a hoax, and he said it for like years, and basically said that the parents were actors and that everyone involved were actors, and it was crazy,
So wait a minute. He believed that.
Yes.
Okay, let's play this thing.
And so he's had this trial, and at the end of it, he basically did admit that that it wasn't a hoax and that it was actually right. I'll just play you this clip, but yeah. So essentially, he's now having to pay. First, it was like $4 million in damages, and now this next trial was like close to $50 million in damages. Which, according to Texas law, you'll pay a fraction of that. But anyway, let me play you the clip.
We've had a video received in evidence of you stating your belief at that time that no one died at Sandy Hook, that the whole thing was fake. Do you understand, as you sit here today, how crazy that is?
I have said before that there have been so many lies and so many things in the past, and I was under a lot of pressure. And I truly, when I said those statements, when I say something, I mean it, that I really could believe that it was totally staged at that point. And I was basing that off of really Steve Pinkett, who has been a very prestigious person.
Do you understand now that it was absolutely irresponsible of you to do that?
It was, especially since I've met the parents, and it's 100% real, as I said on the radio yesterday, and as I said here yesterday, it's 100% real, and the media still ran with lies that I was saying it wasn't real on air yesterday. It's incredible. They won't let me take it back. They just want to keep me in the position of being the Sandy Hook man.
So now he knows that it was real, and he's got to pay all this money.
Well, not that much money.
Yeah, I don't know how much it will be in the end. I think it's capped at like it'll be a fraction of what he was told to pay. But basically, I guess it kind of brings up the idea of, I think a lot of people are saying, well, this is an example of why it's dangerous to spread misinformation and why conspiracy theorists are crazy and they shouldn't be allowed to exist. And I think Russell Brand was also talking about it because he's been called a conspiracy theorist a lot. But I guess it's sort of differentiating. Like in this case, this is like, defamation and,
to his viewers. That's I mean, because that's the whole problem. Is obviously, I mean, he must have millions of viewers, I'm assuming, that are like hanging off his word. But does everybody watch something and just go, believe it? I believe what this guy's saying.
I think his viewers do, to the point where they were driving up outside the houses of the victims and just shouting his name.
Oh,
and spraying them with bullets and stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna say something so controversial, you got to be prepared with what's gonna happen, and that's why when you've got a show like that, it does make sense to at least at the beginning censor yourself to the rest of the say, listen guys, all right, I got some weird crazy shit, some crazy ideas right now.
A theory, yeah, which is unproven. I haven't spoken to anyone about this. Sure. I haven't even I don't know if he's visited Sandy Hook at that point, but I don't think he had.
I think it's a big subject. You got to make sure that like you handle things correctly.
Yeah.
You can't just go into it just half cocked and just speak your mind, and then if you are going to go in there and speak your mind, you just got to be making sure that you are prepared for what could happen.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge problem though, is that so he lied several times under oath, so he's obviously just used to hearing his own narrative in his head.
Sure.
And from there, he's going to be able to keep most of his fortune because Texas caps the level.
Do they stop you from however many cases you want to put forward?
I don't know all that. I think this is just one family that's suing him.
No, there were
a few.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, but
because imagine like your kid has been shot, and you're grieving, and then you also have to deal with the fact that people aren't believing that this actually happened.
Yeah, and people
and that you're acting, and that
Yeah,
you're part of a conspiracy.
I personally believe that if my kid was shot, I wouldn't give a flying fuck what this guy had to say.
No, but it's about the other people coming up to you in the street and just stopping you or shooting at you or shouting.
Why
at
would
you.
they be shooting at me if I potentially lost a kid?
Because his followers are
because they think
crazy.
that you're lying and you've made this whole thing up.
So they're coming up to me saying like, "Oh,
you didn't really lose a kid."
Well, where is my kid?
Tell me where.
Where is it? Because I certainly ain't fucking walking with it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like so.
I mean, it seems like an easy thing to prove if he actually went and did some homework.
Well, my problem is that he'll actually be allowed to go back on air as a show. Yeah. So I kind of think that they should just block his show and just be like, nah, you can't do it. I mean, very much like the kind of what Twitter did to Donald Trump. They were like, you're a bit of a lunatic on this thing. So
yeah, but that's the question, right? So where's the line? Because it's so easy now, the misinformation stuff, like it's so easy to spread. And, I mean, even like Russell Brand is constantly being labeled as a conspiracy theorist, spreading misinformation. I mean, you have to be so nuanced. Like, for example, on his show, he was talking about Alex Jones, and then he kind of brought up this thing about being a conspiracy theorist, right? And how if he says something like the government, the media, and big business are working together to, control the narrative, right? I mean, in some ways, you even have to be careful to say that. You have to say almost like, in a lot of cases that we can prove this is what's happened. I'm not saying it's every case. Nowadays, I think you can be taken off the air or sued or whatever for.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's so many things we say on this show. I'm sure I've said like 5 things on this show that would get people angry.
But I think
including you. You got so angry at me, right?
No. With this one though, I think.
But this is the thing about, just to quickly go back to the Will Smith thing, like my issue with it is like I don't, and I feel like you guys are the same. Like I don't know how to hold like grudges. Like if somebody comes up to me and apologizes for something, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine, it's cool, forgot about it. I like I've never held a grudge with anyone in my life. I don't think.
I got a couple of grudges.
You do?
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
That's deep. Let's get them out. Let's get them out.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Let's have a therapy session.
No, there's just some really racist kids at school.
Oh, right.
The worst.
Yeah, but if you talk to them, you find out like their background, that they're having a tough time, whatever
They
it
weren't
is.
having a tough time. They were all rich kids.
Yeah, but you don't know why. Anyway, whatever. Anyway,
we're not unpacking that right now.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean,
the whole human psyche, no.
I actually have a kid at home that needs me, so
Anyway, bottom line is, how do you differentiate? Because no one is saying with free speech that you can be like libelous or defame people or anything like that. Like everyone knows there's legal ramifications to what you say.
What is free speech?
Free speech is the ability to question, to think things through, to like. So if he said something like, with the school shooting, this tragedy happened, and it's a shame maybe that this political party is using it for this purpose or whatever. Or if he had a theory and he went down and he actually proved that theory, that would be different than just literally outright saying something that isn't backed by fact, And I'm worried that people that are actually trying to find the truth, trying to find the facts, are being labeled conspiracy theorists.
I do see the danger in taking people off if they just question stuff, because I'm a big one for believing that the internet should be in some way policed more than it is, and however, if it's policed by the government, then you can't trust it, especially if it was our government.
Right.
Well, no, I think that the way he probably came onto the show, and this is on fact check because I haven't watched the show, so that's not a good start for this basis. But all I'm saying is that he seems like the type of guy that just got on there and said, "Look, everybody, this is what's going on right now. Listen to what I'm saying. Believe what I'm saying. This is what's happened. Ta da 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 da." Do you know what I mean? As opposed to much like when we watch Russell Brand or anybody like that, he's very much like, on this side of the thing, the fence, this is what people are thinking, and on this side. And I'm not saying that either side is bad. I'm saying that both sides have their advantages to forming one whole idea or image that we can then tear apart again to be able to dissect. It's very much like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just opening it all out there for you to do more research. Is this not a compelling subject? Let's think about this together. Let's talk about it in the comment sections. Let's open this subject up.
Yeah. Rather than this is truth and you should believe it and screw them and blah blah blah. Yeah.
That's it. And that's as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, freedom of speech is is definitely something that should be out there uncensored, as long as you are respectful for what kind of information you're doing, and how you approach that.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're approaching that with an open, unbiased opinion, but saying it, that's one thing.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm just thinking I need to start a political party where we squash freedom of speech.
All right. Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Nice.
Just go out there and say, "Do you know what I think?" No.
Be like super open about it. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, I think you've wrapped it up perfectly, and I agree with that. That's the difference.
I do agree with what you said.
That's a difference. Yeah.
See, look at that.
I was worried I might get cancelled.
It's the difference between inquiry and the scientific method, and like, this is the truth. Believe it.
So I think we actually have to call it a day there.
I think we can do one more.
No.
Pete hasn't got time.
What about Trump? Mar A Lago.
Well, it's not our fault, folks. It's the fact that the people that were in this studio before us ended up overrunning by half an hour.
No, but we're allowed to overrun.
No, maybe so, but I can't leave my daughter.
Right. Can you do 5 more minutes?
If you think that you can cram a show into 5 minutes, then
yeah, I think I can do it. Okay, so this is I guess Trump's lawyer. This is Fox News. Obviously, Fox has its own ideas, but just getting their kind of side of the story of what happened. If you don't know what happened, Trump's Mar A Lago house in Palm Beach was raided on Monday morning. They were supposedly finding some documents that weren't turned over in January. Trump turned over like 15 boxes of documents. So I guess people are saying this was just to make sure they had done everything that they could. But anyway, here's the lawyer.
Here with more, Trump attorney who was blocked from viewing the search at Mar A Lago, Lindsey Halligan is with us. Lindsey, thank you for being with us. Let's talk about that day. Let's talk about the FBI arriving. What happened?
Hi, Mr. Hannity. So I arrived around 11 a.m. and there were about 30 to 40 FBI agents that I saw, 5 of which were wearing suits. The rest were in cargo pants, masks, and gloves. And they basically had unfettered access to the property. They refused to talk to me, refused to let me in. All I knew is that they were searching areas 1, 2, and 3, which I understood to be the former president's bedroom, his office, and a storage room. And other than that, we were not allowed to talk to them or go inside at all.
Did you ever get a chance to read the warrant? Did you ever get a copy of it? Did you ever get any other information? Do you know, are you aware of what they took out of Mar A Lago?
That's the thing. They had unfettered access to the property. They looked at God knows what in there and did God knows what in there. We have no idea. What the FBI did was an appalling display of abuse of power. All documents requested were previously handed over. President Trump and his team painstakingly reviewed every single document at Mar A Lago and gave the government what they requested. If they needed any other documents, they could have just asked. And the warrant was secured under seal. So they tried to get away with concealing this overreach by obtaining a warrant under seal. Nobody knew about it. They knew that President Trump was in Bedminster and hasn't been at Mar A Lago for some time. They thought they could sneak in, snoop around without attorneys present, in case they walked out with nothing, so nobody would know that they overreached to this degree. And it's unprecedented in United States history. The government seems to be out of control. It's plagued with manipulation, corruption, greed, deceit, and fraud.
And yet the National Archives praised the working relationship that you had back in February. And my understanding is they were there as recently as June, and they were the ones that requested the padlock on one particular door where there was some documents that they could have taken with them that day?
Correct, yes. That was when they came to the property and they went through documents, to my understanding. They requested that a padlock be put on the door, and then they broke through that padlock just the other day. You know, we have a sitting U.S. president whose son has committed a myriad of felonies, a Speaker of the House whose husband drove a car under the influence of alcohol and drugs with a concealed, undisclosed passenger in the car, a secret list of undisclosed powerful people that visited Epstein's Island and did God knows what to underage women, none of whose liberties have been infringed upon like President Trump's and his family's.
So do you guys think it was an abuse of power?
No.
No.
Yes.
I love the fact that we have this difference in opinion. My opinion essentially is, you know, the government, police, anybody with that kind of power has the ability to just fuck you. They just do. And I just feel like, you know, you've just got to be prepared. At some stage, you're going to get fucked. That's just what happens. And maybe it could be an abuse of power. But at the same point, just don't do anything that's going to bring them to your door.
Yeah. Don't have 15
Don't
boxes.
run for office.
15 boxes is what they said. Was it 15 boxes?
In January, I think that's what he handed over.
And what was in the boxes?
It was like classified
information. All right. If I'm going to take 15 boxes away from the White House in a truck, quite obviously, you know, it's not going to fit underneath my T-shirt. Then
carrying it out to the helicopter.
I would be reading all that shit because that's got to be super important, right? We're talking aliens, right?
It's got to be aliens.
It's got to be aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, first and foremost. Second of all, where is the information from that? Like, because that should have been leaked on the internet. If you've got it out of the White House, it's in your house.
Yeah.
You gotta leak it, right?
Yeah. Why did he leak it?
Where the fuck is it? Come on. Honestly, we gotta see it.
And he's pleading the fifth, which he always said he didn't believe in. He thought people that played the fifth were guilty. But
well, there you
now
go.
he's
Case
pleading
in
the
point.
fifth. Tell
Case
us
in
what's
point.
in it.
So all of that comes down to, thank you very much, Chris, the fact that you're gonna get fucked. It's not an abuse of power.
It's like, they abuse power.
They do that.
Right? That's just
You
it.
were lucky.
That's the nature.
You were lucky you weren't hogtied face down, all right? Because even that I'd find acceptable.
We're living in like that movie Prison Break with the company where Did you
Right.
see that? Where the company would just roll up and shoot someone or grab all their documents
What?
and be done.
What do you want?
They've been doing this since the 60s.
Exactly. Come on.
We all know it.
Expect it. So, Chris, you carry that one on.
So I think it is abuse of power. I basically think that
So does Pete, but he says to just accept it.
Oh, sure. I'll be shouting, "This is an abuse of power," but I'd also not believe that.
whilst they're pegging you.
I'd expect it.
I think essentially that okay, it's a clear abuse of power, but it's basically giving reason to why the gun laws are the gun laws inside America. The gun laws are what they are so that you can rise up against the government if the government is doing something stupid like this. And I mean, I've been against American gun laws for so long, but it kind of makes sense to me why you would, kind of have like
why you'd kind of want your,
Okay.
your AR-15.
Yeah, I mean, if that many,
I got an AR-15 for the sole fact that when the FBI show up in their hundreds, that I can take most of them out.
Right.
What a weird, warped way to think about when you're at
I
Kmart purchasing your AR-15. They ask you, like, how many shells do you want? I'm like, depends on how many officers show up in the next couple of weeks. Why is that, sir? I got 15 boxes of like classified information at my house.
I think.
Well, they also did raid Melania's wardrobe.
wanna
Well, as you would.
There's due course and process, and I don't think that they did that. So I don't think they acted inside the law. And if the government is going to act outside of the law, then we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bad thing, right?
But this just shows, in a way, like where it's all it's going to a weird place, isn't it? It's all
I mean,
going.
also,
to a very
I'd like
weird
to,
place.
I'd like to pop out, pop in the comment that he has a super hot lawyer.
Oh God. Yeah. He vets that though, isn't it?
How did that?
I got some criteria that needs to be met.
Yeah. I mean, she got that job on looks.
Yeah. So
Shocking.
anyway, I agree with both of you, and
I don't agree with him.
You gotta just be happy, accept
I
your lot.
appreciate what you have to say.
Uh-huh.
I just wish Donald Trump
Don't say
wouldn't
that
plead
back.
the fifth.
Hey?
I just wish he wouldn't plead the fifth. Just tell us what the deal is. I want to know. I'm curious.
Well, he actually has thought all the way through things
Right.
and realizes that pleading the fifth is probably the best outcome for him currently.
Yeah. He's got some emails there that.
I like your suggestion was AR-15 and not pleading the fifth. And I think that this hot lawyer here is probably doing a little bit better than what you would have done as far as advice.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right.
Anyway, well, we'll see what happens. Watch this space. It's all very fascinating. Another week of setting the world to rights.
Certainly is.
Yeah, dude, though. If I was one of those FBI agents' wives, I'd be like, see if she's got like any
Hot
Chanel.
friends. Oh, right.
Not the lawyer.
Oh, right. Sorry, we're on something else.
Melania's closet.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if any of those FBI agents have women that would like fit in that type of clothing. You could just imagine they're like the type of women. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that.
Yeah, that's true.
I shouldn't do that. I'm going to let's edit it there. Cut it.
Right.
Cut it.
Cool. Well, anyway, thanks everyone for watching. This has been another week of trying to set the world to rights. Again, I'm Pia. This is Pete, Bitchin' Hairdo Man.
I am.
At Instagram, at Bitchin' Hairdo Man, and this is at Securic. I don't know what the hell that
Find
is
that
even.
in the description.
Yeah.
It's Kiwi Chris backwards.
All right, Kiwi Chris backwards. You only have to do that kind of thing with your passwords. You don't have to have super secrecy when it comes to your Instagram usernames, right?
I don't know. That's kind of
I wish I could tell everyone what Chris's computer password is. Like, it's insane.
It's just letters and numbers.
backwards and upside down. And
Sure.
Anyway. Does anyone else have anything to say?
If you haven't already, just make sure that you like this video, just like we like this video.
We love this video.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell just to make sure that you are kept up to date with all this fantastic news.
I would also just like to reiterate, I do not condone violence. I really don't.
But
So.
Pagan, you're all fine. Okay.
Okay.
Moving swiftly on. All right. Good night.
Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Night.